what is the difference between verification and validation? Okay, very important question again, and very commonly asked. So when we say verification and validation, this came from the V model, which was V software development model, and which was an enhancement over the waterfall development model. So V model has a shape of, like a V, wherein a side of it is more of a static testing and another side is dynamic testing, or one side is verification and the other side is validation. So when we say verification, it's a process of determining whether or not product fulfills the requirements or specification, right? So verification is all about going through the requirements statically, right? So, or static testing. So verification is also known as static testing, or you can say static testing aligns with what verification is. And verification is done without executing the software. You don't launch the application. In verification, from the requirement phase, design phase, all the low level design, the coding, everything is basically reviewed, walkthrough happens, and testers are involved into that as well. And the process is basically what all testing is possible, what all requirements are there any gaps, is there any missing information into those requirements that need to be added, based on going through those requirements, having the reviews, and then fixing them then and there into the verification phase. Now, when the code has been developed, if you haven't watched the V model video, go ahead and watch the V software development model video. I have published it at a couple of places, so you can just search and watch it. Now, once the code has been developed, the next phase is the execution, the dynamic execution, right? Or dynamic testing. The code will be deployed and the tester will actually launch the application in a browser or as an app, doesn't matter how, but the tester will actually open the application, launch it, and try to navigate through the application and see that the software product meets the end user need or the requirement that were defined, right? So validation is concerned with evaluating a product to determine if it meets end user needs. It is done by executing the software. So all dynamic testing techniques are included there, and it mostly verifies that the consumer's view of quality, basically whether it is fit for use for the end user or not. Because as the tester, we are not just trying to test against the requirement, we are also thinking from the customer's endpoint when we execute the particular software and see that whether it is fulfilling the end user needs or not, right? Same thing we'll do in the verification as well, but in the verification it will be more of just going through the documentation and providing the feedback, right? So in verification it is more of producer view of quality, okay, whosoever is articulating those requirements, writing those requirements. And in the validation it is more of consumer view of quality, wherein how the customers will be using this particular application and interacting with the application. So this is basic difference between verification and validation. It came from V model. Verification is static testing, validation is dynamic, all the dynamic testing technique, right?